This, ladies and gentlemen, is something you've probably got at home. Yep, it's a vacuum cleaner. But it's not any ordinary vacuum cleaner. There's a story behind it that illustrates some very important sales principles. One of which is you can't actually sell anything to anyone that they don't really want to buy. Yes, you can probably pressure somebody into a sale, but buyer's remorse is going to kick in. They're going to either return the product, or if they can't return the product or service, they're going to badmouth you to just about everybody, which is not a good place to be. So this is how the story actually played out. It was many years ago. Barbara and I had moved into a new home, and we needed to replace some vacuum cleaner bags. And we happened to be next to a Godfrey's store, and we walked in thinking, okay, let's just find some bags. And it was absolute bedlam in the place. It was a Saturday, it was absolute bedlam, and we just couldn't find the bags we wanted. And while we were waiting, I said to Barbara, why don't we go and have a look at some second-hand vacuum cleaners? Because we'd got a new fireplace. Well, there was a fireplace in the place, and one of the ways of cleaning it is obviously to vacuum it. I said, look, I don't really want to use the house vacuum cleaner to vacuum up soot, so why don't we get a second-hand vacuum cleaner? So Godfrey's had this caged-off area around the side, and all of these second-hand repaired cleaners piled up. And I'm looking at these things, $20, $30, $50, huge variety of these things. And while I'm standing there, this rotund, short, stocky gentleman walks up and he says, hi, my name's Carlos. I'm not a salesperson. I'm actually one of the technicians who fixes those things. And I see you're looking at a second-hand vacuum cleaner. I said, yes, I am. He said, listen, most of those vacuum cleaners are absolute crap. You see that one over there? That'll last you maybe 2 hours. That one over there, maybe 30 minutes. What are you looking for in a vacuum cleaner? And I said, look, I have an old Wertheim that's been, it's probably been going about 20 years, and I'm looking for quality and reliability. And he said, oh, look, absolutely. Wertheim, they're one of the best vacuum cleaners. Those ones over there, they're absolutely useless. So let me, how about I show you a couple of vacuum cleaners? And I said, yeah, fine, we're here. We might as well have a look. Okay, we weren't intending to buy anything except a couple of bags for the old Wertheim. Anyway, so Carlos takes us out into the middle showroom and, of course, brings out a bunch of, 2 or 3 different vacuum cleaners and, the usual, put in the sand into the carpet, the wool into the carpet, and, try and hoover everything up. And you could see quite obviously that none of these vacuum cleaners that he'd taken out, even though they were reasonably expensive models, was doing the job all that well. And finally, he said, oh, look, you said you had a Wertheim. Well, let me show you the Wertheim that we've got. Okay? So he takes the Wertheim out, and sure enough, it picks up just about everything. And while he's doing this, he's like any really good salesperson asking questions. He's trying to figure out what's important to us and why we would want to buy something like this. So he says, well, do you have any allergies? Do you have any pets? And we said, no, we don't have any pets. Do you have any allergies? And I said, no, we don't have any allergies, but we do have dust mites in the house. And he said, oh, look, I know, my daughter's got asthma. And, she would cough all night. But this Wertheim over here has a triple filter, and we actually run it without the hose in all night in her bedroom. And it filters the air, and she never coughs. And I'm going, what? You run this thing all night? And he said, yeah, we've got a 10-year warranty on the motor. Why wouldn't you run it all night? And it filters the air. I'm going, this is pretty interesting. Anyway, so this conversation went on, and while he's doing this, he's dropping the vacuum cleaner from chest height, and he kicks it halfway across the room just to show how sturdy it is. And while this is happening, he's sort of developing an audience of people, because this is all quite funny. But then the piece of resistance happens, and he, the usual Godfrey bowling ball trick where they pick up big bowling ball with the vacuum cleaner. Well, he doesn't do that. No, not Carlos. So picture Carlos. He's got a really big, heavy, meaty hand. And he picks up the vacuum cleaner, he turns it on full, he takes the hose out, and if you notice over here, you can see where the hole is, where the hose goes in. He slams his hand onto the hose and has this vacuum cleaner dangling off the end of his arm. Now this is pretty heavy, I can tell you. I wouldn't be able to do that. Anyway, so this thing is dangling, and we are laughing hysterically. This is so funny. All the while, the spiel is going on. and he's saying, word time, German engineering. He's really playing to my values, looking for reliability, quality, longevity. So finally he says, look, because you've got an old word time believes in rewarding old customers. And what we're doing, what word time is doing, not he, what word time is actually doing is offering a $500 discount trade-in. If you bring your old word time in, we're offering a $500 discount trade-in on any new word time model you buy. I'm going, $500? Good God, that's a lot. For a battered 20-year-old word time, you've got to be kidding, right? So Barbara and I looked at each other and said, okay, well, if we can get that sort of money for it, why wouldn't we buy a new vacuum cleaner? So we said, okay, let's do it. Notice something though, we never yet asked the price and he hadn't told us. So we're walking to the sales counter and we say, oh, by the way, Carlos, how much is it? And he said, oh, look, with the discount, it's $800. We went, God, $800? We came in for $15 vacuum bags. But then we looked at each other and we said, well, look, $800, if it lasts 10 years, 15 years, maybe that's $80 a year. Look, it's not a bad deal. So we signed the paperwork. He said, look, you don't have to have the old vacuum cleaner with you. Don't worry about it. You can just bring it in sometime and we'll just change it over. But you can take the new vacuum cleaner away right now. So we walked out with the proud owners of a brand new $800 vacuum cleaner. Now, just notice for a second what's happening here. He didn't try to sell it to us. He'd figured out what my highest values were and he sold to those. He allowed us to buy the vacuum cleaner. We wanted this thing. There's no buyer's remorse here. And he used 3 really important sales principles. By offering us a discount masked as a trade-in, we immediately thought we were getting a really good deal. We thought we'd won the lottery, frankly. And then he used the law of consistency. Because I kept saying to him how I liked word time vacuum cleaners and how I liked reliability, quality, blah, 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 I couldn't really then turn around and say that I didn't want another word time which was going to be equally reliable, if not more so. German engineering, the whole kit and caboodle. Anything else would be inconsistent with what I'd already been saying. And we all want to be consistent. And of course, the law of scarcity. He said, listen, the deal is only valid till the end of the weekend. Like hell it is. Of course it's not. I'm sure that if you walked in, you could have had that deal anytime. But scarcity basically, gets someone over the line when they might not otherwise do so. Okay? Now, the irony with all of this is we knew what was going on. We are sales trainers. We're sales coaches. Barbara and I knew exactly what was going on, but we were so caught up in it, we just went along with it. So my question to you is, what's your sales process like? Do you allow your clients to buy from you, or do you use high-pressure tactics to actually try and ram something down their throats? If your sales process isn't up to scratch and you would like help, we have coached and trained hundreds of salespeople in being more effective salespeople. And I know that's ironic because it's not about trying to teach someone to sell. It is teaching someone to create a space where your clients can actually buy. And whether you work in a business to consumer area or whether you work in corporate sales, B2B, the principles of human interaction are exactly the same, and our strategies and techniques will work for you. So if this is of interest to you, please do give us a call, or you can go to our website, which is www.revealedresources.com. Until next time, this is Rashid Kopwal.